Usually, I don't read too much into weight misses at the UFC level. Usually guys are still able to go out there and compete. But in 2025, guys that miss weight are now 0-5. That's not that great of a look. I do believe, though, Chidi and Jaquani did end up winning, so I believe that's now 1-5. But leading up to that Nurgaji fight and including the Nurgaji fight, 0-5. So not a great start, but he ended up fumbling the bag for us as our lock of the night play. I was able to get in on him at -245. So obviously he was a part of the Locky two-step, and he fumbled the bag for us. Hence, the parlay with Andre Lima and the Locky two-step crumbles for us, as did the Locky Trinity with Kurt Holloway, which I thought he won the fight, but it didn't end up mattering since Nurgaji was the one that screwed it all up for us. So let's try to get back on the winning track this week. Let's get right into it. First step up for this UFC London Locky two-step is going to be Mick Parkin. He's taken on veteran Marcin Tybura, and I believe this is a passing of the torch kind of fight. I believe Tybura often has troubles with guys that are athletically more gifted than him, and that's what we're getting with Parkin. Now, I'm sure, Parkin doesn't look like a Yoel Romero or anything like that, but he's still quite athletic given his size and his frame. He's a very solid striker, showcases decent speed for a guy his size, but his trading partners in Tom Aspinall and Phil DeFree are clearly helping him out at this level, which is why he has a clean 10-0 record. I think we'll see him utilize superior striking and showcase the grappling and scrambling that not a lot of people knows that he has, and I think that will ultimately keep Tybura from getting off on his game, and I think that could either lead to Parkin finding a knockout within a round and a half or end up landing more damage over the course of 15 minutes, showcasing a superior cardio game as well, and winning this fight on the scorecards, but most importantly, cashing as a first step in our Locky two-step. The second step is going to be Alexia Thainara, who goes up against Molly McCann, somewhat on short notice. I think it was about 2.5 to 3 week notice here for Thainara, but knowing she already has a UFC contract, she probably wouldn't have taken this fight unless she was prepared to do so. And I think she has all the advantages here against McCann, who might be a little bit more powerful of a striker, but Thainara's grappling, pace setting, and just overall smothering game will be too much for Molly McCann, who I think is just showcasing what her ceiling is in her last several fights. She's able to beat the Diana Balbizas of the world, but she'll come up short against the Bruno Brasils of the world. And I think Thainara, even though that's the only loss on Thainara's professional record, she'd probably twist Brasil up in knots at this stage of their career. But I think that if Bruno Brasil can do what she did against Molly McCann, Thainara will be able to do much worse and maybe even secure a submission win. I love Thainara in this spot. I think she wins this matchup with relative ease and hopefully helping us cash our Locky two-step. That I was able to lock in earlier this week, which I dropped to the Lock of the Night Patreon page, folks, at plus 189. As of this recording, you can now get it at plus 180. So drops a few points there, but still pretty worthy. Now, the Locky Trinity, we're going to get a little bit riskier here, and I'm going to go with Colin Loughran, who is taking on Nathan Fletcher. Now, this is a rematch of a fight that took place back in their amateur days, which I believe was about 6 or 7 years ago. And that was a night where, it was competitive, but it was clear that Fletcher was a little bit ahead in terms of the grappling realm. And even though Loughran was able to pull off a few reversals and showcase his physicality, it was clear that the technical advantages were on the Fletcher side, which is why Fletcher grinded that fight out. But now, both guys a little bit more grown up and a little bit better all around. I think Loughran is the one that showcased better improvements and an ability to go 15 minutes without having too much issue. Fletcher, obviously very strong grappler and good BJJ specialist, but I think Loughran will do a great job in terms of shutting that down, and whether keeping this fight upright and just wearing Fletcher down in the clinch or just trying to land those big power shots, or even if he looks to get this fight to the ground, I think he can out-smother and out-grapple Fletcher from that top position. Again, I think Loughran is much better than the last time we saw him against Fletcher, and I don't think that Fletcher has the striking that Hadley does to try to take advantage of Loughran in that realm. So I do like Loughran as a third and final step here in the Locky Trinity, which I was able to lock in at plus 464 earlier this week. A little bit of action on Fletcher now has made Loughran back to the underdog, which now, if you were to parlay at the current price, you can get this 3-leg parlay at plus 475. We'll see how it goes, but I feel pretty damn good about all three of those spots. I'm sure some of you guys have some issues with some of them. Let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, let me know if you're tailing, and hopefully we can cash this ticket this weekend. All right, good luck on all your action, folks. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for the LFA full card breakdown as well as the UFC London prop drop. Peace.